Nicely done. Our conference and our research activities at Queen's University fit within many homes, but the big sort of rich mothership of the university's research mission is overseen by Professor Stephen Liss, who is the vice principal of research, and he's very kindly agreed to come and provide some closing remarks, which again are very fitting because we all owe all of this largely to his support. So just a couple of notes that Professor Liss has been the vice, and when I say vice principal, that is our version of the title president. But he was he became vice principal in 2010 and has had really quite a long and distinguished career as an administrator, both at Ryerson University and Guelph University. Very, very importantly, especially for the head of research for the university, as he himself is a very distinguished researcher. His beginning was in microbiology and immunology, and he received his undergraduate degree from the University of Western Ontario and his master's and PhD in applied microbiology from the University of Saskatchewan. And throughout his career, has had a long stream of research accomplishments and leadership in administrative and other positions in support of research really throughout his career. So we were delighted when he accepted Queen's offer to come and join us here 4 years ago. So Professor Liss, if you will.
Well, thank you very much, Scott, and for the introduction. I know that you've had to introduce me a number of times, and I think actually to this audience, so it's a pleasure to be back. I think putting me at this time frame ensures that my comments will be brief so that we can get to the more enjoyable parts of the day and the reception and gala dinner. I'm delighted to be here for several reasons. This certainly marks the conclusion of the Monieson Research Partnership to Revitalize Rural Economies project. And in that regard, I've been here since 2010, and it's been wonderful to observe the trajectory of the program and to have had the opportunity over a number of different times when you've collected and met together to get to know a good many of you, and particularly our partners who've supported the project. And as this conference has been organized, it marks a conclusion, but on the other hand, I sort of look at this as just the beginning. And we sort of saw that from the perspective of the keynote presentation about how do we get to the next stage in the advancement of rural economies. And in many respects, I took from that message something that I think is common around the economy, period, and that is the role of informatics and computational systems, digital infrastructure, and collaboration. And I can't think of any aspect of the future of economic development or innovation, whether it's in a rural economy or a large urban center or within a university or any organization or industry, where digital infrastructure, collaboration, and people are core to advancing both innovation, economic growth, and job creation. And so it's interesting to see the trajectory of the effort associated with this project, where there is much more commonality between what is transforming in the rural economy and what is happening globally. And I think in many respects our global engagement is really an amalgamation of lots of small communities to work in a very different way, and how the digital infrastructure and computational systems and increasing importance of analytics will be to advancing the economy. And interestingly enough, and I share this because I've been one of my sidebar jobs as VPR, when you get engaged on a national basis on a number of different issues, to have co-chaired the Leadership Council for Digital Infrastructure. And I am flying out to Northwest Territories in a couple of weeks to meet with John Miltenberger. And NWT has been particularly interested in the way in which to advance its economy by laying down the type of infrastructure to support broadband, and at the same time to make sure that they can collect and capture the data that is being assembled from research that's being conducted up there, but not by researchers who are in NWT, but researchers who are scattered across the country and around the world who go up to NWT, whether it's on health, socioeconomic conditions, resource and extractive industries and other factors and climate change and so forth. But they really would like to see how that can be captured to drive and benefit NWT and bring prosperity and ensure sustainability in their, and bring benefit to people in NWT in the north. So this is very much a national and international global I think phenomenon with respect to the way in which I think digital infrastructure and data will I think transform economies globally, and so it's interesting to see that convergence that has emerged out of the Rural Economies initiative to have discussions that you would see happening in conversations on economic development in a wider context, notwithstanding the particular nuances and cultures and fabric of a rural economy and the preservation of the quality of life that people seek when they live and work in a rural economy, as well as supporting aspects of the farming communities that are often associated with the rural economy and what they bring to bear on advancing the economic region and the prosperity. But I do think that it's quite telling about what the future might hold. But the story isn't finished yet, and so this isn't a conclusion. And I would hope that as we move forward, that we find ways to connect and continue to collaborate as partners, as collaborators, and advancing knowledge and addressing critical questions. And that's at the heart of which Queen's really works. I mean, we are a university. We train and educate, and we advance knowledge and pursue research excellence. And we've been doing so for over 170 years. And it's central to our success has been upholding that inextricable link between teaching and research. And it's really framed in our academic plan and our strategic research plan, and it's come to coalesce around our strategic framework anchored by several drivers of which academic excellence and research prominence are so critical to. And so it is our commitment to learning that which has placed Queen's, a mid-sized university, firmly on the international stage by maintaining that balanced academy with equal emphasis on academic excellence at the same time in pursuit of research excellence and research prominence. And our global reputation for excellence in research stems from several core principles. That is the pursuit of innovation, encouraging collaboration, and building global engagement. And I think for the universities for the 21st century and beyond, distinguishing oneself is done in a manner where we will have to distinguish ourselves through our global linkages and our global partnerships, not solely by virtue of an international reputation, but by the way in which we meaningfully connect and work collaboratively and globally, but also how we distinguish ourselves through our local and regional impact. And that is something I think relatively new to Queen's, in fact. And while it's not perhaps new to a number of researchers and parts of the university, but I think as a university as a whole, we've been increasingly giving stronger attention to regional economic development and what the university can be contributing to better southeastern Ontario and the Kingston region. So today's conference, I believe, has been a wonderful reflection of these principles. And research partnerships have brought together 14 researchers from 5 different institutions and universities. And the collaboration has not just been between researchers, but between universities and communities. And we're delighted that we've had over 40 organizations involved as partners on this project, and even more small businesses and economic development agencies engaged as active participants in this research. And it's to this group of people who we look to and reach out to say that we can hope we can continue to work together beyond this 3-year project. And it'd be remiss if I didn't mention that there are a number of people from the office of the VPR who are here who I hope you will get to meet in over the course of the evening, who will be very helpful to you in accessing the resources of the university and supporting continued collaborations. And I should point out, too, that you'll note in the program that Yolande is not only the principal leader of the project, but she has gained the title since the last conference as Associate VP Research. And when we're undergoing our reorganization in our shop and looking to all the skill sets and competencies required to support the research enterprise at Queen's and to support our faculty and students the best way possible, I was struck by the energy, the enthusiasm, and the perspective that Yolande brought to the role of a researcher and as a director at the Monieson Centre, and of course Scott is carrying out the tradition as he's unfolding the health policy and health economics focus now in the Monieson Centre. And but nonetheless, Yolande really presented a lot of real great attributes I knew that were going to be tremendously valuable to the community. And so I was looking to adding another AVP. I didn't have to look too far. I knew where I wanted to go to get the person who I needed in the office. And so I was delighted that Yolande joined our office as Associate VP Research. And it was really through much of what she's brought to this effort, particularly on the emphasis of partnerships, particularly the engagement with the Social Science and Humanities Research Council, and certainly working in a very scholarly way, but really translating that research into practical tools that would benefit the rural communities. So I think it's a testament, I think, of the success of this this project has been development of Yolande's program and research and her leadership that will come to bear on supporting the rest of the university as well. So we bring together world-class academics and practitioners, and the Economic Revitalization Conference makes a valued contribution to this vision. So, as Vice Principal of Research at Queen's, I do want to thank you for coming to Queen's and Kingston today. And I do want to thank the many people who have made this event possible. Certainly Dr. Yolande Chan, the Principal Investigator for the project, Dr. Scott Carlson of the Monieson Centre, and his team for organizing this conference, which so well exemplifies the university's commitment to excellence in research. And as I indicated, the Monieson Centre continues in that tradition as they advance and expand their mission to explore new important areas of research and that are important to the health and vibrancy of our country and our economy. And of course, our funder, the Social Sciences Research Council of Canada, who've made this conference and project possible, and Leadership and Steering Committee, who've also supported the project financially. I'd like to certainly thank all the speakers and all the participants who've traveled to Kingston to participate and exchange ideas and experiences, and to take the time to engage in this exciting topic. So the Economic Revitalization Conference is about innovation. It's about how rural communities across Canada and around the world can bring together technological innovations with rich potential for people and culture to drive a new vision for rural economic health, and one that integrates their past, present, and future. Queen's has been very proud to support this project and this event that connects world-class research with the community, innovation, and growth. So I hope you've enjoyed the conference, and I certainly look forward to sharing with you in the events that follow this conference. So thank you very much.
So as we conclude our conference, the last event of our Research Partnerships project, I just want to fill you in on some of the resources you'll be seeing in the coming months as we wrap up our initiative. For one, as mentioned earlier, slides from today will be available on our website. You'll see them posted in the agenda section of the conference. Just next to each speaker, you'll see their slides appear. And then also we'll be posting videos from today on our YouTube channel, and so we hope those will be a useful resource. You can find videos from all our rural conferences there. We've had 6 of these Economic Revitalization Conferences, 2 Creative Economy Conferences, a Creative Economy Speaker Series, a Broadband Conference. All those videos are there as a resource for you, and we hope you find them useful. As the studies conclude over the spring, some of the reports are already up on the website. Some, like Olena's and Helen's, are just wrapping up right now and will be out soon, and others will be out over the course of the spring. And we're developing short policy briefs. I know in our KISS project, when we developed 4-page success stories of local small businesses, we were very excited. We thought, this is not 30-page heavy academic papers. We put them out, and then we got the feedback. These are nice. A 1-page version with pictures would be better. So we're always learning how to better communicate. So, but we'll be developing short policy briefs to assist you in that regard as well. And then we do have resources in the project to translate some of these final outputs into French as well. And our partner Rede is supporting that initiative. So thank you. There is a survey in your package, just a feedback form. We'd love it if you could take a minute to fill that out on your way out. And then lastly, just a couple final thank yous. Again, thank you to our speakers, particularly our keynotes. We're very fortunate to have speakers of your caliber, Norm and Bo, to come and share a day out of your busy schedule with us. It's been a real honor to have you. We want to thank Yolande for her tremendous leadership of the project. Great to have you. And also, we want to thank Jen and Ann, our staff at the Monieson Centre. So let's give all of these a round of applause. And then last but not least, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming today. When we look at our steering committee, our leadership team, our broader partners, and everyone else engaged in this project, it's been wonderful. It's wonderful to work with you. It's been wonderful for you to take a day out of your busy schedules to come and learn with us. And thank you for sharing your thoughts and questions today. So thank you for attending, and safe travels.